Welcome back. Another set down and back at CornDoug. This week, another great show. We've got ACL Pro Allison Peters on the show. Had a fun talk with her. We talked about her throwing, how she started, just her bags, just kind of her mental state for those long days of long tournaments. Even got into a little fun, more fun for me, kind of a little NASCAR stuff. She was in Darlington on the last weekend there. I had to say, quite jealous. Got to play cornhole and watch my favorite driver win. That's making me jealous right there. So great talk with her. Loved having her on the show. I know we'll probably have her on again. Hopefully she does well this weekend in Erie. But then just on the other NASCAR front, if any of you watching this Down and Back podcast show or even listening, if you guys watch the other NASCAR show that I do live on Tuesday nights, gotta apologize a bit. Got a little excited with Truex winning again. I may have sang a bit, and I know that probably wasn't right to do. But anyway, I hope to not do it again. I promise I will not sing on this show. That's a promise. No singing on the Down and Back. But yeah, so we got Allison Peters on the show, and this weekend, the first ACL shootout to be recorded. I think you folks in the USA will be able to see it on CBS Sports Network and CBS as well. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to see it unless the CBS network, unless Buffalo carries it. Then I'll be able to see it for myself here. Not sure about anyone else around, or if anyone has a dish that you're able to get it, and then you're not well to me up here in Canada. But anyway, yeah, so there's the ACL shootout, and then they're also having an Open as well. So doing the show ahead, whatever. If you watched last night on the Facebook page, I went live. I give kind of my thoughts on some of the players that'll be going. I didn't give who I thought would win. Just the pro field right now was still, Damon Dennis is kind of there. Trey Birchfield's there. I kind of said that I think Matt Guy's gonna be there. Gonna be nasty, I think, for him because he's gonna be out looking for redemption after Vegas. Had a chance to talk with Stephen Burnison on the live show. He was even getting in the chat. I think for him, I think he just needs to, what happened in Vegas needs to stay in Vegas for him for this weekend. Because I think he just, one bad tournament isn't going to make it or break it for him. He can get this back on the rails and get that going again. Same, I even talked about Matthew Martin. He's still got to learn to play with that target on his back. I think he's still trying to get used to that there. He's getting a little better. He was the Shine Runner tournament last weekend. He got a little better, finished third in singles. But yeah, he needs to get that back. Like I said last night, he needs to get back to that Matthew Martin, because we haven't seen it. That Matthew Martin playing, earbuds in, hoodie up, just laser focus, like he did last year at some of those other the other pro tournaments that they had. Just Matthew, get that hoodie up, or Mike, if you're watching, get that hoodie up and just get back in it. I know that's it's going to come. He's still young. It's just he's crazy good for his age as well too. I can say get that hoodie up, but we can still say give him time. He's gonna get it. So there's that. And I also talk about Tyler Poitras, another former guest. I'm just looking for something good out of him. Not the way he was in Florida. Doesn't need to be all that good, but just after Wichita, he had that. You can say a dismal showing. He even said it. He wasn't happy with it because he wasn't feeling well. Come to find out, he got the ear. There was the ear issue, prevented him from going to Vegas. So now he's getting a drive. If I'm reading all the Facebook messages correct, he's either going with this week's guest, Allison Peters, or with Trevor Brooks. One of the two. But hopefully he gets there. Hopefully he gets to play and just get back to some resemblance of Florida. Doesn't have to be all the way back there, but I just want to see him just put in a good performance. So there's that. And if you're local to the Ontario area here, we've got the SOcS Cup, the Southern Ontario Cornhole Series here. If anyone out there looking to sponsor, get a hold of the SOcS website or on the SOcS Facebook page. It's just SOcS, SOcS, SOcS Southern Ontario Cornhole Series, and hit up the Facebook page or the website and talk about if you want to sponsor or get into it, get involved. Anyone with a local in Southern Ontario with a league, you don't have to be ACL. You don't have to be any other leagues. You just have to have a cornhole league that's running. Get yourself 10 people that are in your league or in your area to come and play and sign up. Get a team, a team name, a team logo. Have some fun with it. We'll put it on the SOcS website, and it's just going to be a fun. So it's going to be, I think I may have mentioned the format there before on the show. It's a 10 versus 10. So you're going to go and you're going to play 10. There's going to be you're going to have two games, a home and an away game, two different teams. You're going to go to another center, or another center is going to come to you. Another league's going to come to you. You're going to play 10 singles games. 10 singles games. So it's going to be 100 games there. Then you're going to break off and play 5 doubles games. You're going to break off into 5 doubles teams, play 5 doubles games. That's 50 games. So you got to have 150 games throughout the day. Whoever wins the most wins the day. So all you have to do is just win 76 or more. We've got to still kind of, if there's a tie, we got to figure out a tiebreaker for that. And yeah, so that's your home and your away. You got to win. Hopefully we'll be able to keep some stats on everybody to be able to have like a player of the year and kind of stuff like that there. So yeah, she's going to play 2 away games. Sorry, 2 games, home and away. Easy for me to talk. Home and away. Then we're going to have a final tournament looking possibly June, July, depending on how many teams we're going to be having and getting all that there. And then a final tournament where you bring your 10 players. And with those 10 players, we're going to have a triple elimination tournament. Okay, so it's not just regular double elimination. For those of you who lose twice and then get better, you've got that third chance. So triple elimination of a best 2 out of 3 game. So it's going to be 5 games going on. You've got a crew cup, which is going to take over 4 of your players. You're going to have 2 doubles games, another 4 players. So these gives you 8. 2 players left over to play singles. So it's going to be 2 singles games, 2 doubles games, crew cup. 2 out of 3. Sorry, 3 out of 5. I'm saying 2 out of 3. 3 out of 5. I suck at math. That's why I don't keep score when I play. Scoreholio is perfect for that. Hit up Ben, go to Scoreholio. It's perfect for that there. So yeah, so 3 out of 5. And then just the winner advances. Loser goes into a loser bracket. And it's triple elimination. So that'll be a full, fun day. The final weekend, we're going to do like blind draw and kind of stuff to go along with all the stuff and all that stuff. And there's going to be a lot of stuff going on that final weekend. And so, yeah. So that's what we have with that. We've got teams confirmed. Is the first is Peterborough Corn Stars. Then we've got the Allison Flames. We've got the I just found out last night the Innisfil Attack. You've got the Kitchener Knights and the Aurelia Royals. That's it, the Aurelia Royals. So that's the teams that are in there for sure. There's going to be there's one more team I know for sure that is going to be announced soon. I'm going to wait for them to put their logo out and everything, and SOcS to announce it. No need for me to jump into it. So yeah, so that's all. I get to talk about local cornhole stuff. So much fun to talk about local cornhole stuff. So yeah, so with that, sponsors. Got to talk with the sponsors of the show, as always. Look at that. Perfect timing because they're rolling across the bottom of the screen right now. OctaneCornhole.com. Use discount code CornDoug. Get yourself 10% off of any bags or any kind of merchandise on their website to get. Matt's got the new bucket hats up there. And yeah, so they're a real cool thing because you can then look like Emperor because he's got the Octane bucket hat. I think he had the first one. He had one specially made for him. Now Matt's now selling them on the website. So yeah, so octanecornhole.com, discount code CornDoug, get yourself 10%. Then, if you want to listen with the best earbuds on the planet, I've heard stuff through my son's ones that someone else calls the Fruit Company. Man, these ones are way better. I wear them at work. I wear them for 8 hours a day at work, listening to different podcasts and anything else or music. Comfortable as anything. Great stuff with myearfun.com. Discount code CornDoug. Get yourself 20% off of any of their earbuds or Bluetooth speakers. Check them out. Go and check them out. Put that discount code in there. Get yourself some great stuff. Then head over to Jamie Cowan at JC Cornhole. He's doing some great boards. I know I put a little post here this week of some of the stuff that he's been doing. He's over the top busy right now. He hand paints all of his boards. They're fantastic boards to play on. Does great artwork. Check out him on Facebook and jccornhole.com. Then, as it's coming down the bottom of the screen now, sierrahome.com for Sierra property inspections. And I want to give a shout out to Darren, the owner of that. Tough times right now. Him and his son have both contracted COVID. So Darren, fortunately, was able to be vaccinated. I was talking to him. He's got some mild symptoms. He's going to be okay. Tough one right now is his son because his son wasn't able to be vaccinated where they're at, and he's in really rough shape. So a lot of thoughts going out to him. Jeffrey, we need you to get better, buddy. We need you there helping your dad with the home inspection. So really thinking about you guys. So with that, let's get this back on the road here. Here is my talk with ACL Pro Allison Peters. Oh, and one last thing for any family that's watching, we're not related. I know I do have the Peters in the family, no relation to Allison, so that leaves me. I can't say the best because you've all seen me play. Most famous cornhole player in the family? Who knows? Here it is, my show, or my talk with ACL Pro Allison Peters, who you can see playing this weekend at the Erie Open and Pro Shootout. And here we welcome Allison Peters to the show. Allison, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Well, I've kind of been thought about having you on for a while because you're starting to get in the spotlight here more recently here with the Opens and the way you've been playing at Nationals with former guest Maya Cupp.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Yeah, she's like I said, she was a couple times trying to get on the show here too. So we always have technical issues on the show, so it's no problem. But so kind of getting into it here. How did you kind of get your start in cornhole?
Yeah, I actually had just put this on Cornhole Addicts not too long ago as well. But I lived at an apartment complex near my house before I bought my home now, and we played cornhole up by the pool, and it was just, people had some boards out by the pool, and they had some, like, once you won, you stayed on the boards. So of course I'm very competitive, so I went and hunt down the best person I could figure out that could play, and we stayed on there all day. And so then not too long after that, I learned that you can play in tournaments and things like that. So I kind of got a little interested there, and I've always been a competitive runner, so I had to kind of decide there for too long what I was going to do, because it's a lot of practice and a lot of time.
Yeah, I do a lot of practice and a lot of time, but I'm just not getting better myself. So I'm better at talking about the game than actually playing.
I bet that's not true.
You go back to one of the couple of videos here before this and watch me throwing my 200 subscriber contest, and you'll see just how bad that was. But yeah, but then talking about the good stuff, then you've kind of been on a run here, like I said, with Maya Cupp, just at the national level, being these young kids that are coming in. We got to try and stop them somehow. But you guys have had a couple good runs.
We sure have. I asked when we finished up last season. I knew, Samantha and I played the worlds together last year, and we got second. And I knew she was, Rosie was had her babies and everything, so she was gonna be back. And so I started trying to figure out, hey, I'm gonna need a women's doubles partner. And so I called up Maya and I said, hey, you want to play with me this year? And she said, I would love to. And so the first national, we went undefeated until the final, and Sarah and Cheyenne double dipped us. And then uh, the second one, Kaylee and Yeti got us. And then this last one, Cheyenne and Sarah stepped up again, and we're going to find it. But it's been just an honor to be on that stage and being, working really hard. She always says, hey, you know what? It's coming. It's not our turn yet, so we're going to keep trusting the process and in our training.
Well, and that's the thing. And I kind of talked to Trey a couple times. He was on the show before, just about the women's game in general for the ACL has just, it's there used to be just, you'd always hear the one or two names all the time, but now it's like, it's crazy how it's kind of just, you guys are almost overtaking the guys in some regards.
Yeah, in some ways, I think, we've tried to level up our game a little bit too. So I think there's a lot of good women out there.
Well, yeah, and I believe it was at the Louisville Open. I think you had a one game where I wish I put that many bags in the whole one night of our league play, but you had that one really good game.
It was insane. I can't even describe it. My really, really close friend, Jason McCann, he owns the Firebags company, he just happened to be walking by, and he's like, hey, are y'all about to play the championship? And I was like, we're in the championship. And he's like, okay. And I had been throwing okay up until that point, but as soon as he cut the camera on, I don't know what happened. Like, I started making a bunch of bags, and I just sort of started thinking about it. And then all of a sudden, 28, he yells 28. And then I was like, okay, I got to stop airmailing now. So I went on to finish that 44 out. And I was like, at the end of it, I had no idea how many I had made until one of our locals had went back and counted them. And then I saw the stat sheet.
Yeah, because and even Trey keeps, every time you're on TV there, Trey will always kind of say, hey, she did this, and it's like, yeah, I can't even do that in like a week. So, but I think it's just a great accomplishment.
Thank you. It was definitely something. I woke up the next day not believing I had done. I'm usually not quite that consistent, and most of the time I'm very aggressive. So.
Well, and that then brings up to another point, and I kind of asked you about this in messaging before, is that with Maya being so aggressive on the boards, does that make you change your style when you're playing doubles? Because I know there's some people will go, if their partner is aggressive, they'll kind of play a little more conservative. Do you change your style up in any way?
I don't think I'm a passive at all. I think I'm way aggressive. Lots of airmail opportunities. I always take them, and I've always been like that. I always try to play aggressive. That's just my style. I go after things sometimes way too much, I think. But that's all part of the learning process that I'm trying to learn. I see Maya's just consistent. I mean, she just puts the bag in the hole. And when we play together, she's definitely a tough opponent for somebody that's standing next to her. So I always just think, hey, she's just going to put the bag in the hole, and I'm going to try to hold up on my end.
So then has she taught you that spin on the finger that she does for starting the game off?
Yeah, she's incredible. She's talented. Yeah, I I used to have really long nails and all this stuff, so I never really spend too much. I can spin basketballs like crazy, but I haven't really practiced too much. I probably will with that, but yeah, she's very talented on that.
Oh, like I always joke that there's one guy that's up here that plays at Windsor. They had a little bit of a Can-Am kind of thing with her, and he had to play her the one game, and she did that, and he's like, take the 21 points. I'm done. I know I can't do that. You just go ahead and do that. But it's just it's that it's almost like that intimidation factor when she does
Yeah.
it. She's like, you're like, okay, if you can do that, then I'm done.
Yeah. It's definitely incredible. All that kind of stuff, all the little tricks and things like that are fun to get into with cornhole. I mean, cornhole is fun too, but there's a lot of extras that go with it.
Well, and then talking about extras that go with it, you saying that that you've been the runner. So do you kind of take back kind of stuff when you were like a runner to be able to that mental physical grind of like, because we had some people up here that we had our first conference and regional in the same day up here back, almost feels like ages ago, but they were like, oh, we got to play from like 8 in the morning till 10 at night, and I'm like, yeah, that's like any kind of a big tournament in the States you go to, that you have to be playing that. You're not going to be playing that 4-hour stretch. So do you take any of that stuff from when you were the runner back to the long grind?
I do, absolutely. That's a lot of times, I will say to myself, especially these tournaments that last forever, or these games that are going on, I always say, okay, if nothing else, I can outlast them. I can sit here and try to be patient. I'm not I'm not normally patient, but I try to be patient and say, okay, if they're gonna put in 4, I can put in 4. Wait till the next round. I'm totally capable of just waiting it out, and not trying to get in a big hurry. And yes, I think endurance running has helped me a lot with that over the years of doing that. I spent many years training for long distance, for what we would call long distance. I did 3 marathons. I've done a lot of halves. Um, my best half was 121, where I was training so much, 70 to 80 miles a week, and killing it in the gym. And I loved that life, but now I'm like, I can put a lot of that thought process into the game I play now.
Well, I would even could see from me being down in North Carolina a bunch, and just how incredibly hot and humid that gets down there, that being under the lights, under the TV lights, that could even help with you with the training and the heat down there as well too.
Yes. Yes, for sure. Boards are a lot slicker too that way.
So then your bag of tricks, I know, Maya's it likes the game changer. So is that your kind of go to bag as well?
Yeah, that's my bag.
Yeah, I've tried game changers. I'm not good with them. I've had Frank on. Frank's a great guy, but I can't throw his bags.
Yeah, when I very first started throwing game changers, I had to learn the bag and learn everything I can do. It's just like anything else. You got to really work with it, and a lot of people try it and they don't like it. But then for me, I was like, hey, if I'm going to throw this bag, I've got to spend some time with it and make sure, like, even with airmails and things, that I can grip it correctly, do what I got to do. I'm trying, all the time. We're always, working on the flat part, flattening out the bag in some way. Sometimes I don't. If I'm going to spin around a bag, I usually try, I don't flatten it out as much, but
Yeah,
yeah.
and I think a lot of newer players too, when they come to the game, they go, they see yourself and some of the other big players. So in the game changers, they think they can throw them as well too, and they just try and throw like a regular bag, not knowing that with the faster bags, you kind of have to sometimes put a little more loft into it. So is that
You
kind of
do.
like your throwing style?
Yeah, I like a little bit more loft in mine. And depends on the situation. If it's, a situation where I feel like my bag might kick or something, I try not to, because, when you go higher, you tend to pop left or right. Mine always, since I'm left-handed, will pop left if I get the bag too high in the air. So I have to be careful with that.
So then I know that you played in a tournament this weekend. I've seen some of your pictures and totally jealous just because you were down in Darlington. I've been down there once and would love to get down there again. But just how is that being at the track for a bigger tournament? Because I've won a tournament in Charlotte, but it wasn't that big. But yeah.
Yeah, it was an incredible experience. I met some people at the beach years and years and years ago before I started playing competitive cornhole and now we call it the Sandbox. Jim Lawing and Todd, they're down at Myrtle Beach, and their nephew plays up here near us. And he asked me, he said, Allison, would you be interested in going to Darlington? And I said, absolutely, I'd love to. I didn't even know they were playing this weekend, and found out that Kyle and Kyle's cornhole boards was putting it on down there. And once we got down there, we were able to get into the ACL bus, talk to Michael a little bit, and find out, more about getting a lot of people involved in cornhole, period. It was just insane, like all the people that were around and playing and going out there and watching some of the people and being involved in the games was crazy. I mean, all the fans walking around, it was so much fun. Like, just playing cornhole, and that was like true tailgating, which is kind of, I guess, where the sport derived from, is that backyard feel where you're out there having a good time. And yes, it was double elimination and still tournament style, but it was also had that feel of, hey, let's let our hair down a little bit and play the fun game too.
Well, exactly. Because that's, like I've always said, that's where I learned to play cornhole, was on the infield of Charlotte Motor Speedway. And then even going back there is just, you tell people about how much cornhole is actually played at those races. And then I had to take a video to say, this campsite, this, like, there's like 18 in a row that all have boards out, and you're playing like games till like 3 in the morning. I know down in turn 3 in Charlotte, I won't play there myself because they have a bottle of Fireball sitting in the middle of the boards, and if you throw short, you got a drink. And up here, throwing short is called a CornDoug. I'm not called CornDoug for nothing, so I'm not touching that Fireball.
Yeah, that's rough stuff.
Oh yeah, so at least now I know that you kind of are in the Charlotte area. So if I do need a partner for that tournament at the Speedway, I can say, hey, I need a partner because I am the reigning champ, even though they were just horrible bags and you're throwing uphill, which wasn't fun either. But it's
yeah, and the wind, being outside changes a lot of things about cornhole. The wind and what bag you're using and things like that.
Well, exactly. And I think the bags they gave us to use, I think they were about 12 ounces. They were just, there was like nothing to them. It was just, they were horrible, but it was put on by Coke. And if Coke wants to sponsor me, I will throw those bags all day long.
Yes.
I got no problem. So speaking of sponsors, what sponsors then do you have?
So my main sponsor this year is AAR Cornhole of North Carolina, and the AAR Apparel and Designs that has come along with it this year. Brad Kurth and Amanda Hill have done an amazing job. We have a large team this year of AAR cornhole players, and they have kept us outfitted and just made sure everything's good with all of us. And they're definitely my main sponsor. I have Hudson Auto Works, which is an auto shop that is close to me in Greensboro. Some local sponsors that I've had for a while. DJ Scotty DeBody, my boyfriend, his entertainment system with DJing, and he DJs weddings and things, proms and stuff like that. And then I have Chris Dalton. I just took him on with some pressure washing, and we have a lot of local people too. Like, it's super awesome to get them involved. Yes, I have AAR and All Cornhole as my big sponsors for the year, but I felt like it was just also a big thing to me have our people that have been with me from the start. Double D Burnout Saloon, Get Wet Marine, some of these that are just around here.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's going down. I see like there's with so many other friends I've made that with down in North Carolina, you just see all the stuff that they get to play in all the time, and I'm like, geez, we get like one night a week up here, and you guys get to play like so much down there. It gets kind of jealousy. I will admit that.
Yes. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we do have blind draws pretty much nightly here. So and they're very close, within 30 minutes to an hour. So there's, I'm not trying to sound funny, but there's no excuse for not practicing, because we have the ability here to practice in a location with people around us. Now by ourselves, that comes too also, but being able to play against other people, we do have that luxury here in North Carolina.
So, well, now, not just say this, practicing with yourself. Were you involved in any of the virtual stuff that was going on when the cornhole world shut down?
Yeah, that is actually where I really got going pretty well. I've told this story several times. A lot of people have already heard it, but I remember one week I lived in AAR pretty much at that time. I teach school during the day, and as soon as I was done with school, my car was straight to the shop, because I wasn't where, I don't feel like then I was where I am now. And so I had to put in the work, and it was tough, but there was a lot of like, hey, play Ghost 8, play Ghost 9, play Ghost 10 in this tournament. Okay, we'll do this. And then that's how Samantha and I met. Samantha and I started playing online virtuals together. And then, this person wants to play virtual, and then a women's tournament. And then I remember one week I signed up for 22 tournaments that entire week. So I had to have a big notebook, piece of paper, trying to keep up with all the games, but that kept me going. As far as the practicing, one night we said, hey, this league over here said 1,000 bags. Okay, let's do that. We're over here trying to practice, so why not go ahead and get involved while 2020 was halfway shut down?
Yeah, no, I went into one ACL tournament, a virtual tournament, and I got no idea why I went into that one, but I went to one out of Dave Weiser was running out of Cleveland. Yeah, that wasn't fun. I think I threw a 33 and a 29. So I was way out of my league just to start in Cleveland of all places. But yeah, and speaking of Cleveland, the way you are down there, I've always said that your area, like some of your regionals, are like national pro events with so many pros down there.
Our conference, this past conference that April and Dave put on, was 79 advanced players, and of course, that entails Jamie and Eric and Brandon Jones and Duncan Clemmer. I mean, it's Frank Modlin. We have it's very deep. Of course, I know that a lot of other conferences are very deep as well, and they are too. But it is, every time I think our conference and regionals there's just a lot of good players, and so Eric and I live about 30 minutes from each other, so getting beaten up by that guy every other night, you'll either get to practicing or you'll be done with it.
Well, I think that's why there's so many great players out of your area, out of Florida, out of Cleveland area, and then up into Virginia, is because you're playing against top talent all the time. You can go to a blind draw and you're playing against other pros.
Yes, every Friday night. I mean, there's pros at AAR for our AAR Friday night blind draw, and you're exactly right. They're there to get, to hopefully get a good draw, and then of course we're looking to try to figure out who we're going to play next and if we're going to get to play each other, and so it's kind of exciting to know we're all in the building.
Well, exactly. I want to thank you for taking this time to talk with me. I know you're showing that ACL pros are more than just cornhole players. You're at soccer practice.
I am. I'm at my daughter's soccer practice.
So again, I want to thank you for coming on, for talking, and I know good luck this upcoming. I guess it's this weekend here in Erie.
At the first Pro Shootout. Yes.
At the Pro Shootout and the Open that's going on there. So best of luck out there, and I hope we'll be able to talk in the future. And if the border's open, we can maybe play some down at the World Finals, because as I say to Trey, you can't have a World Finals without Canada down there playing. So
that's right.
So thanks for coming on, and we'll talk soon.
All right, thank you.
And there it is. I can't thank Allison enough for coming on the show, talking there. I've been wanting to try and talk about her to getting on the show for a while now, and we were able to kind of set some stuff up. And as we said there at the end there, she's showing that ACL Pro players are just regular people too, as she was at her daughter's soccer practice, sitting out in the vehicle. Thank her for doing that, taking that time to come on the show. And it's just that thing as she talked about on, in that talk we had, that it's coming from those other sports, being that long distance runner, playing, training in the heat or any other different elements, is kind of helps on that boards for that long day, getting up in front of lights, because she's been on, she's getting some airtime with Maya, and I think it's, I think they're gonna get Cheyenne and Sarah soon. I think they're due for a win for that there. So there's that, and just and she's talking about how that she, even though Maya's aggressive, she can be aggressive on the boards as well too, and just the bag, getting the loft, because like we talked about that, newer players that want to just see people, oh, we're gonna throw game changers, we're gonna throw this here fast bag. Yeah, you have to know how to throw the bag to be able to throw the bag. And it's just, if you're throwing a faster bag, you can't zip it going a hard line drive all the time, because all you're going to do is just hitting the back wall. Get some loft in your bag, and I go back to that throwing tip, because that's what I talked about in that throwing tip. Loft that bag. Find out what your height is, because that's what I found out for myself. 8 feet. I need at least to get the bag 8 feet in the air for the loft to come over and then land in my landing area where I like to land. So there it is. Again, I don't play good, but I know what I'm talking about sometimes, as the pros are showing. So yeah. So again, thank Allison for coming on. And if you're listening on the audio, if you're on Apple Podcasts, or if you're on Spotify, I know they all have their own rating systems. Give that 5, because we don't want those other guys in the down below me in the lower states area to kind of get the jump. We all know that you guys like the northern stuff, so give us the 5 stars. Let's catch up to those guys, get that going. Even message them, tell them that they need CornDoug on their show. They've come up on mine. It's time for me to be going down on their show. Let them know that you want me on their show, talking cornhole, talking anything, talking whatever, because we know that one show likes to talk about aliens and stuff and whatever. But anyway, give that 5 stars on there. Then also, if you're watching YouTube, hit the like, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and then hit that other bell. See the little bell? Hit that, then you'll get notified anytime I put the show on. You won't miss a thing. And if you want, or if you're new, there's the playlist. Go back, watch. I'm up to like 90 episodes now. Like, holy crap, this has been long. But yeah, so out there, or even if you're on the audio, after you give the 5 stars, head over to YouTube, give me a like and a subscribe there, and help that out, because we are getting closer to the 10,000 views. Also, if you get up to 300 subscribers, we'll do another contest. But actually, for the 300 subscribers, we'll give away a set of bags. 10,000 views, we're going to go and do something more special. I'm not going to say it till we get closer to 10,000 views. So let's just keep watching. Watch the shows as many times as you can, and it'll help me out. So go to the sponsors as well too. Remember, octanecornhole.com, 10% off using CornDoug. MyEarFund.com, 20% off using CornDoug. JC Cornhole, mention me. He said he'd probably give you a discount. And then check out keep an eye on the SierraHome.com. Hopefully, Darren, you're on the mend and getting better very, very soon. And we're all thinking about you and Jeff to get better and get out of that dark area very, very soon. So with that, till next week's show, it's going to be a good one. We're going to do a review of the of what's happening this weekend here in Erie, with the Pro Shootout and the Open. Hopefully, we'll be able to get. I didn't think about that. I didn't even talk about who my pick was for the Open on the start. We're going to go with 2 non-pros for the win. See, that's why you stay and watch right till the end. 2 non-pros for the win. The doubles is going to go to Berkeley Pear and Trevor Brooks. I'm going to call it now. Singles, he's coming back. My favorite player from before, Trevor Brooks, is winning the singles in Erie for the Open. Maybe next time I'll tell you a little story I had about kind of interaction with Trevor Brooks. It's kind of funny, but maybe that's for another time. But until then, watch out for those players throwing gas, because they might just kick your ass.